I founded the American Health Institute in 1989. Our facility is in Los Angeles, California, and for the past couple of years I've collaborated with our medical director, Dr. Michael Gallitzer, in doing research and developing a treatment model in the field of bioenergetic medicine. We have been looking at the energetic and emotional disturbances that underlie serious illness. So we are excited to be able to share with you the most important aspects of the treatment model that we've come up with. We have had the fortunate experience of working with people from all over the world who have come to us because of our expertise in this innovative field. And we really support people in their journey. We acknowledge and support their standard medical treatment and whatever resources that they're using in their home environments. In fact, most of the people that do come to us and work with us on the emotional, energetic aspects of their health are involved in a variety of treatments, ranging from standard medical treatment of chemotherapy, radiation, to a variety of other alternative therapies, including nutritional therapies and holistic medical treatments as well. What I believe is that your belief in whatever you're doing is probably one of the most important factors in your recovery. So the importance of you aligning with your physician, your medical team, and beginning to strengthen deep convictions about the kind of treatment that you are pursuing becomes very important, because the role of belief is powerful in the recovery process. So the more you're able to align yourself with your medical team and treatment, the more effective your treatment will be. So utilizing these resources that will be outlined in this program that you're now using, along with your medical treatment and the other resources that you're incorporating into your recovery strategy, can be an umbrella for you to just expand and transform your health. This program will be addressing the connection between stress and cancer. We will be looking at the psychological meaning of your illness. Also, we'll be looking at the secondary benefits, the needs at an unconscious level that you're beginning to receive as a result of having a life-threatening illness. When people get diagnosed with cancer, they begin to change the way they think. So we want to become really masterful at this point in strengthening your belief and your ability to get well, your communication dynamics, your ability to use visual imagery to mobilize your body's defenses, and your ability to strategically plan for health becomes one of the most powerful tools of all in getting well. I will also, near the end of the program, teach you how to incorporate the Kaler stress profile for cancer patients into your strategic planning program, so that you begin to design a lifestyle that will pull you towards life, so that your focus is so much on increasing the quality and passion of your life that you almost forget about the fact that you have cancer. That's one of the most important things that I've seen in the people that get well. When we look at the field of psychoneuroimmunology, what we see is an emerging science. Actually, it's been a field that has its roots that go back for many years in looking at the effects of chronic stress on the central nervous system, on the body's defense against infection, and on abnormal cell division. What we see within this field is that there are psychological attributes that are attributable to the cause of illness, including cancer, the course of disease, and the whole aspect of prevention and recovery. So what this program does is to really address those factors, so that we want you, when you get finished in utilizing this program, to be very clear about what some of the factors are that play a part in both your disease and the regaining of your health, so that you have a handle on how to get well. In looking at the cancer survivors, the people who have gotten well that weren't supposed to, we've learned a lot of things. two important factors stand out in the role of survivors. One is their ability to maintain a belief system that they can get well no matter what. Even during those times where it wasn't looking the way that they thought it should look, they still somehow believed that recovery was possible. Number two was they made a decision to get well, and they took action. So they became proactive in the recovery process rather than staying victimized by having their disease. In fact, Dr. Martin Seligman out of the University of Pennsylvania has just published a new book called Learned Optimism. He was one of the early pioneers who did a lot of studies looking at what was involved with learned helplessness. And he identified 3 patterns of beliefs. They're actually called the 3 Ps: permanence, pervasiveness, and personal. Now, if you have a pervasive belief system about cancer, what that would mean is that all of a sudden when you got diagnosed with cancer, that became like everything in your life. In fact, you may have, if you've had this sort of challenge, you may find that you began to think only about the fact that you had cancer. It became a pervasive problem. In the people that we've studied who end up surviving this disease, what happens is that they're somehow able to shift this from being a pervasive problem into just being one aspect of their life. They are who they are, they maintain their identity, they expand their identity, and they have cancer, and they begin to define themselves as getting well. So they don't see their problem as pervasive. The cancer survivors also don't see their problem as permanent. They maintain the belief that this is a particular situation that they're dealing with at this time, and that there's an opportunity here for them to learn from. And that when they learn this information that they're attempting to learn in this particular crisis, they will move on. Often they even get into a belief system of thinking that when they no longer need the cancer to help them change at an unconscious level, that they will be well. That's one way of viewing it. So the cancer survivors do not view their problem as permanent or pervasive, and they also do not view it as personal, meaning they do not consider that they are to blame for why they got sick. So they do not view the fact that they have cancer as somehow representing that they were in charge of creating that all by themselves, and it's a reflection of somehow a personal problem in them. Now, this is a double-edged sword when we begin to address the issue of responsibility in health. And part of the criticism we've gotten through the years in this work is that some people will say, well, you know, here you're working with people with cancer and they already feel bad enough, and here you're going to let them know that they somehow played a part in why they got sick. And then they're going to feel more guilt or resentment, and that's going to just make them worse. That's not the intention of this work, and it never has been. However, when we do take responsibility for our health and for our illnesses, there is a tendency sometimes to take on too much responsibility. What I think can be a helpful belief is to look at the influence that we can and do have in our health, because that can be a powerful tool in getting well. You didn't create your cancer all by yourself, and you're not going to get well all by yourself. However, you played perhaps a part, not consciously, but unconsciously most likely, in some of the patterns that you've learned of how to be, past attitudes, emotional patterns. And those patterns may have influenced your health in such a way that you were more prone to developing cancer. The good news is that you can change. In fact, change happens in a moment. Change happens when we view things differently. So I offer you the opportunity to give new meaning to your illness.